In this video, you will have an opportunity to see the proper manure storage methods used by Kentucky dairies. Also, the importance of a nutrients management plan and what it covers to prevent non-point source pollution. Non-point source pollution for dairies refers to pollution that comes from diffuse sources rather than a single identifiable source. In the context of dairies, this type of pollution typically results from runoff that carries pollutants like nutrients, bacteria, and sediments from fields, pastures, and other areas where dairy cows are kept. Dairies can adopt several practices to reduce non-point source pollution. First, nutrient management. Second, buffer strips. Third, cover crops. Fourth, proper manure storage. Fifth, controlled grazing. Sixth, riparian buffers. Seventh, erosion control. This video will discuss two of the practices: proper manure storage and nutrient management. Every dairy operation has specific manure handling needs based on size, moisture content of the manure, and location. Some dairy manure is handled as a solid, stored in piles or stacks. These management practices are common for smaller operations. Larger operations tend to manage manure in a more liquid form. Some systems use flush collection, where the use of large volumes of water flush manure from barns and milking parlors. Other dairies use mechanical means to remove manure, such as tractors and scrapers, automatic cable scrape systems, or even a robotic accumulator. These systems move the manure into long-term storage in anaerobic lagoons, tanks, or earth ponds. Depending on location and cropping system, some dairies store the manure
for up to 1 year or longer before field application.
Proper manure storage starts with a well-designed and maintained storage facility. There are many considerations when constructing a storage pit or lagoon. The type of bedding being used, the number of animals housed, how many hours are the animals confined each day, how long between pump outs, amount of annual rainfall, location of the lagoon or pit, and soil type at location, to name a few. Periodically, inspecting the lagoon or pit for structural problems can help prevent manure leaks or structure breaches. A level indicator staff located in the pit or lagoon help the producer verify that there is a recommended 12 inches of freeboard needed. Another common manure storage structure is a stack pad. A stack pad provides a temporary storage for solid and semi-solid animal manure until it can be properly utilized for fertilizer. Typically, a stack pad consists of an impervious floor and 3 walls to contain the manure. Some stack pads are covered with a roof to eliminate extra moisture being absorbed from rain events. Sizing stack pads use some of the same considerations as sizing a pit or lagoon. After constructing a well-designed and maintained manure storage facility that minimizes non-point source pollution, a producer needs to turn their attention to creating a nutrient management plan. Implementing nutrient management plans help ensure that the amount, source, placement, and timing of fertilizer and manure application are optimized to minimize runoff. There are 2 types of nutrient management plans available for Kentucky dairy producers. First, the Comprehensive Nutrient Management Plan, or CNMP, which is a plan that a technical service provider does and the NRCS will help facilitate, usually for larger operations.
These plans are also necessary to receive cost share from programs such as EQIP.
Second, the Kentucky Nutrient Management Plan, or the KNMP, is a plan that a farmer, extension, FSA personnel, conservation personnel, or Kentucky Dairy Development Council personnel can write. Basic information collected for a KNMP are plan ID, field maps, crop rotation, type of animal production, animal numbers by weight and age, confinement time for hours per day, manure production and field application, and a soil and manure analysis. It is important to have soil tests completed with current analysis, and just as critical is a current manure analysis. Not all manure is created equal. Knowing the value of your manure allows your producer to get the most out of a readily available nutrient byproduct stored right on the farm. It may also prevent a producer from purchasing commercial fertilizers that is not necessary. Keep in mind the required setbacks when spreading manure. For more information, contact Kentucky State Office, NRCS, at 771 Corporate Drive, Suite 300, Lexington, Kentucky, 40503, or by phone at 859-224-7391, or the UK Biosystems and Agricultural Engineering at 351 Ralph G. Anderson Building, Lexington, Kentucky, 40506, or by phone at 859-257-1687, or the Kentucky Dairy Development Council at www.kydairy.org, or by phone 859-516-1409, the Kentucky State Division of Water at 300 Sauer Boulevard, Frankfort, Kentucky 40601, or by phone at 502-564-3410. Funding for this document and video was provided in part by a grant from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to the Kentucky Division of Water as authorized by the Clean Water Act Amendments of 1987. Section 319H, Non-Point Source Implementation Grant. References are the Kentucky Nutrient Management Planning Guidelines, ID 211, Kentucky Ag Water Quality Plan Producer Workbook, Sampling Animal Manure, ID 148, NRCS Code 590-1, Kentucky Nutrient Management Plan Training.